Is it me? Hello? Hello? In the last talk I did earlier, it's great when people say hello back, because in my mind I often see and hear things that I believe are there but then they're not. So when I say hello and people say back, it just reassures me that I'm not hallucinating. So hello. Oh, great. Snoopy, can you see those people? I'm worried now. Thanks very much for coming. I know there's lots of great stuff going on and you've lots of hard decisions to make, and you've made the decision to be here, and you're probably thinking, is this worth it? Maybe it's not worth it, and I don't know if it is. But I'm going to share a story over the next 45 minutes, and I'm going to try to take you through a number of doors, and each door I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to give you a minute maybe to think of that question, because as I said in all my talks, there's nothing I can say that deep down you don't know. There's no blinding piece of facts that I can give you or medicine that's going to blow you out of the water. You're the expert on you, not me. Maybe I can give you a question that if you're brave enough to sit with, the question will blow you away. So this talk, I'm only going to be creating some content, and you're going to be taking that in and asking yourself some questions. And be willing to sit with the question. And sometimes the questions are very simple. People come up and, I know she's here, a girl asked me to ask, could you tell me what to do? I'm in this job, I don't really like it, but it pays me okay. But what I'd really love to do is get out of there, move abroad, start a new life, do something better. What do you think I should do? So I said, let me just replay that again for you. You're in a job that you don't really like, and it pays you okay. What do you think you should do? Sometimes we know what to do, but we don't know how to get over the self-fear or the self-doubt or the self-judgment. Sometimes when somebody asks you a really good question, instantly your heart tells you the answer, and then your head trying to work out how I make that happen. And it's often in the how that we get lost. So in the questions we're going to ask yourself today, the gift that you give yourself is, if you decide at the end of the talk that you're going to make a change to your life, to your thinking, to your thoughts, focus on why. Why would that change be useful? What would that allow me to do? How would that impact my life? Don't worry about the how. The how will come. Why was that important to me? And secondly, can you create that picture? So that when someone says, why are you doing that? What if that doesn't work out? You'll be able to say, but what if it does? We don't need the full picture before we take the first step. So I hope at the end of this talk, as I've brought people through different doors, one of those doors is going to resonate with a really powerful question to you. And you give yourself the gift of saying, why do I need to answer that question? And take judgment and thinking out of it. What would my heart say? If I really loved myself, if I really cared for myself. There's a great piece of research done by a lady who minded people at the end of their life. Young, old, rich, poor, Catholic, Hindus, Christians, Muslims. And she simply did one thing. She asked them all what their biggest regrets in life were. And at the end she created this simple little book about life regrets and the types of biggest regrets. What do you think at the end of people's lives after you've built families, built houses, done all types of things, what do you think the regrets people end up with are? People say, I wish I followed my dreams. I wish I believed in myself a little bit more. I wish I was less hard on myself, and I wish I had more fun. It's incredible when it comes down to it, the stuff we forget, the stuff we don't prioritise, the stuff we let go, and we end up with a big regret. And even on a further level, she asked the kids of the people who died, what would your biggest wish for your mum be? And the kids say, I wish my mum looked after herself more. I wish my mum was easier on herself. And I wish my mum laughed more. I asked the question yesterday morning, what is it that we all want? You want to get fitter, you want to get faster, you want to get stronger, you want to get bigger, you want to get smaller, you want to take up yoga, you want to take up psychology, you want to get into counseling, you want to... Why? What's the end you're trying to achieve? And for me that end is simply one thing, because I want to feel enough. For once in my life, I want to look in the mirror and love the person I see. I want judgment out of my life. And yesterday in my talk I said the secret to all of that is not meditation or yoga or getting bigger or getting stronger or getting fitter or winning more or getting promotions. The secret to being enough is one thing. Stop judging yourself. Stop commenting on everything you do and finding the flaw in it. Stop buying gadgets that judge you and tell you you're not walking enough, you're not sleeping enough, you haven't enough steps done, you haven't enough calories burned. Stop surrounding yourself with people and things that find fault in your life and point it out to you so you can buy something else. Surround yourself with people and things that tell you you are incredible, exactly as you are. Maybe don't take up yoga, maybe don't take up meditation, maybe don't get fitter or stronger. Maybe stop judging yourself and learn to be more. That was my talk yesterday. I'm going to leave that now, but I really think it's important. Allow yourself to be exactly as you are, where you are at that moment. So before we go through the first door, I'm going to play a song that I played yesterday because I think the lyrics are really important. It is that idea of, could I dare to stop judging? And if I stop judging and stop telling myself who I should be, can I begin to see who I truly am and how special that person is? So if you wouldn't mind just closing your eyes, it's only going to take 3 minutes. I promise you we'll finish on time. And just listen to the lyrics.
I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will
first show we're going to go through is a simple piece of knowledge. Your life expectancy is 900 months and you sleep 300. You have 600 waking months on this planet. I have 300 at best left. When you hear that fact, it resonates something. A sense of panic, a sense of anxiety. There are still people trying to work out the maths. That's 75 years old. People will live to be 80, people will live to be 65. We can't get caught up in the number, but 900 gives you a nice mark. Very early in your life, you've got to get comfortable with the fact that you don't have enough time. To a life that's well lived, that has full of fun and adventure. To a 101-year-old person that has lovely grandkids and is still fun and still getting out. They still don't want to die. I've seen people fight tooth and nail to live because this life is incredible. It is a gift. It's worth fighting for. But it's temporary. We have to become comfortable in our lives early at accepting there is not enough time for everything. So we have to become very good at prioritizing. What am I giving my time to? We think at times that the key to getting more done is to speed everything up. I've only 900 months, I gotta get faster, do more, do more, do more. The more you speed up, the quicker time goes. What we know from science and experience is if you can't extend the amount of time you have, you can expand the time you have by becoming present in it. We live with the illusion that time is moving fast, but it isn't. There are 60 seconds in a minute. There's been 60 seconds in a minute 500 years ago, and there'll be 60 seconds in a minute 100 years from now. Time is constant. It's what you're filling the minute with that matters. If you think time is moving fast, hang off a chin-up bar for 8 minutes and don't let go. What are you filling your life with? What are you waiting for? I learned early on in my life that the more I started to slow things down and become present was the more I could expand things. I work with athletes and I train them to expand a moment, expand a second. In that split second in Crow Park, they get the ball, 80,000 people and noise all around them. And in that split second, they have the time to catch the ball, secure the ball, breathe, look left, look right, see that the goal is on, move the step and bang, in a split second. There is an enormous opportunity in every moment if you're present in it. The problem with most of us is that we're filling the opportunity in the present with memories of the past and expectations. We're rushing, we're not present. We have to learn to slow time down. Because the present is all that exists. The future is simply an imagination. It is not here. The past is over. Every opportunity that exists to be better, to be happier, exists only in the now. And yet they say less than 30% of our thoughts are now-based thoughts. Which means less than 30% of our emotions are based in the now. Sometimes we feel anxious now, but that's because of something that happened before that we can't let go of. Sometimes you feel anxious about something that's about to happen, but it's not happening now. And we're filling the present with memories and emotions and thinking that is not even relevant. And here's the thing, it's all fiction. René Descartes, the great philosopher, said, "I think, therefore I am." René Descartes figured out long before neuroscientists that everything you come to know, you have to first perceive. It has to come through your mind, your memories, and your expectations. And the very fact that it has to go through those, it gets manipulated, because every single one of us, depending on our previous experience and our expectation, is wearing a different set of lens. I think, therefore I am. René Descartes realized the only thing that we can be really sure of is the fact that I am here. So here's the thing. You're already projecting your beliefs and your imagination towards the future. that may or may not happen. The other crazy thing is the fiction of your past. Because people say, my past wasn't fiction, Gerry. I was there. I saw it. But you saw it with your eyes. And it was interpreted by your mind. And you manipulated it into a way that suited what you believed. There's massive neuroscience that shows simple things like your eyes have two holes in it that we know. And I used to think that we had holes in our eyes so our brain could see out. I believed we were looking out. Neuroscience has proved that the eyes have holes because it takes light in. The skin takes senses in. We take noise in. And when everything goes into that dark skull, the picture is created inside. What's really amazing is what you see by looking around you right now is created inside your dark skull, which is incredible. So we'll all see a different light, a different type of texture. I'd say to some people, how many people do you think was in the tent? Some people say, I'd say there was 100. Other people say, you're mad, there was 200 people there. Was the tent cold? No, the tent was warm. You say the tent was freezing. So when you start to recollect the past, if 5 people recollect the exact same past, it's different. Even your past is fiction. So that's gate number 1, door number 1. In your life you have 900 months, you're going to sleep 300, which leaves you 600. How present are you in any given moment? What are you filling your time with? And what are you waiting for? If you're waiting for a letter in the post to come to give you permission to fulfill your dreams, if you're waiting for a letter to come to tell you to take the next step, if you're waiting for a letter to come in the post to tell you and give you permission to be happy, guess what? It's not coming. So when is the time? The time is now, because it's the only time we're sure of. Everything else is fiction. The second thing we want to talk about, the second door, is choice. There's an incredible book by Viktor Frankl. It's Man's Search for Meaning. And Viktor Frankl was a Jewish physician, but he was brought into a concentration camp and he lost his wife and he lost his 2 children. And after losing all of that, he got into such a state of despair that he felt, I can't do this anymore. And he was about to commit suicide. And something small crossed his mind. He said, but if I commit suicide, nobody will ever talk about my children. Nobody will ever know about my kids. So he started thinking about that. So he decided, for the purpose of my kids, I'm going to try to tell their story. And I'm going to try and make sure that everybody knows what happened in here. So he said, I'm going to focus on trying to get out of here. But beliefs can't be imprisoned. You can imprison people physically, but you can't imprison their belief. So he said, I will maintain my belief despite my imprisonment. So every day that the German soldier would come in and call him by his number, 226-501, step forward, Victor would stand up and say, lovely to meet you. My name is Victor. I'm Viktor Frankl. I'm a Jewish physician. I live in Vienna. I was married to an amazing wife and had 2 incredible children. It's really lovely to meet you. German soldier would blank him, bring him out to the yard every single day. Victor said, I am in a place of hatred and I am in a place of anger, but I will not be hatred or anger. I will be me. They cannot imprison my spirit. And every day he challenged them. Every day the German soldier would come in, 225-601, step forward. Every day he would stand up, as hard as it was. He would say, my name is Victor Frankl. I'm a Jewish physician. I live in Vienna. And every day they walked into the workyard, he'd tell them an incredible story about his wife and about his children. And he told them about his son a number of times, and my son was going to be a great footballer, and he loved it. And when I held my son, he was incredible. But he's dead. And he told the German soldier, he's dead because you put us all in the carriage over there. And we were squashed, and we couldn't move. And for an hour and a half, I heard my son scream my name for help, but I couldn't help him. And he died. German soldier blanked and walked away. Comes in the next day, 225-601, step forward. Victor, stand up. Good morning, my name is Victor Frankl. It's a pleasure to meet you. And something amazing happened on one day. Victor said maybe after 100 days, the German soldier brings him to the workyard and he's about to leave, and he stops. And he turned to Victor and he says, Victor, I have a son, and he's 14, and I've no idea of the pain you're in, and I'm desperately sorry. And Victor said, you don't need to be sorry, because I noticed you had a wedding ring on. I know you're married, so you must be a lovable person. And I know you probably have children who adore you. And I know you're probably a great dad. But you just happen to have this job. And you're terrified that if you leave the job, you can't provide for your kids. And you're terrified that if you speak up, you're going to be put to death just like we are. And what's going to happen to your wife and kids? Victor said, I realise what keeps you here is your love of your family, not your hatred of me. There is nothing to forgive. Viktor Frankl says the last and most powerful of all human dignities is our ability to choose our response to any situation. We cannot control the situations we find ourselves in at times. We cannot control the stuff that happens in our life, or the people who turn up in our life, or how the people turn up. But we get to control our response. That is ours. That is our spirit. Viktor Frankl says the biggest thing that imprisons people is not walls or jobs, it's mindset. They surrender. They surrender their freedom to choose their response. Why aren't you going to the gym? It's raining. I don't like the culture in this organisation. The weather is bad. We blame, we outsource. The doctor has me on antibiotics. The doctor hasn't you on antibiotics. Your lifestyle has. Sometimes we don't want to take responsibility. That was a big challenge to me because I was the world champion at blaming other people. The world champion. And then I started working with a coach, and he'd listen to me, and I'd give out about this and that and this isn't right. And I see Gary Keegan's down there giving out about Gary Keegan's not letting me do the right thing, and he'd listen, yes, right, yes. And then at the end, when I blamed everybody, I'd say, now, do you see my problem? He said, I see your problem. I see it exactly. I said, do you want me to tell you where it is? I said, yes. It's you. It's not what's happening that's the problem. It's your anger, your judgment, your cynicism, your reaction to it. Control your reaction. That's the one gift that we all have. Our ability to control our reaction. And that starts simply with our breathing. The human lung has the capacity to hold 10 litres. Most of us, when tested, we have a capacity of a half a litre that we're using. We're not even breathing correctly. Our body language, our words. We're giving out, talking about things that we can't control. We're surrendering, and we're giving others power. You know what she said about me? I can't believe she said that. And then I get angry at her. But what she said is just her opinion. It has nothing to do with me. My response to what she said is me, not what she said. So that's door number 2. Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. It is not what happens to you in your life that defines you. It is your response to it. And that's the most difficult thing. Door number 3 also comes from Viktor Frankl's book, and it's called The Why. Sometimes in life we talk about how and what. What will I do, Gerry? How do I do it? Will I give up the smokes? I work with clients all the time, and after 2 or 3 weeks I have them in the gym, I have them boxing, I have them running, and then they say, you're going to tell me to give up the smokes now, are you? I say, no. What? Next session again, they're kind of, I'm getting a bit fitter, Gerry, feeling good about myself, yeah, and meditation's working well. You're going to tell me to give up the smokes now? No. What? No. Oh, do you like smoking? Oh, I love smoking. You should keep smoking then. They're kind of amazed because, Gerry, you're meant to be this fitness wellness guy. Oh, no, keep smoking. How many a day smoking? 30. Smoke 40 if you're enjoying it. And they can't figure it out. And it's playing on their mind. And then they come back to the next session and they say, how about that smoking? Is it time to give it up now? And I'll say, you seem to be talking a lot about this smoking. Is it playing on your mind or something? Well, I thought you'd tell me to give it up. Oh, absolutely not. But here's the thing. You know that 3-year-old daughter that you have? Yes. You love her, don't you? I love her. You want to be happy, don't you? Yeah. Would you like to be at her wedding? Yes. But if you keep smoking, you probably won't. And then I get them to lie down and do visualization, where they get to visualize their daughter on her wedding day at the altar, and her face empty and sadness in her eyes. And in what should be the greatest day of her life, walk down the aisle looking empty. And I get them to visualize her getting into the car and driving out. And instead of driving right to the reception, turning left. And I ask them, do you know why the car is going left? Why is the car going left? It's going to the graveyard. She's going to visit your grave. Because you're not there because you didn't give up smoking. How's that feel? So then I ask them the question, do you think you should give up smoking? I can't tell people what they need to do. You need to know why. Why am I losing weight? Why would I do this? I saw an incredible expression of the why when I was working with a rugby team. And at half time we were being beaten up. But it was the last game of the season. And things were not working out quite right. People were missing and just little things were not working. And at half time everybody's looking at the numbers, collision speed, breakdowns, unforced errors, rucks, mauls, all the numbers on the wall, the what and the how. And you have one guy with ice and his hamstring, because his hamstring is more important than that. Two guys lying on the physio bed looking at the ceiling, they're not even looking at that. There's something missing. And as a young psychologist, I didn't know what was happening. And I didn't know what to do. But I knew something was missing. But thankfully I was saved, because down at the end, there's the dressing room, a little hall, and then the showers, was a guy in the shower, he was kicking the wall. And I mean kicking it. Now, you can see abnormal things in the dressing room, but this wasn't quite right. So I walked down and I said to him, are you okay? And he just kept kicking the wall. And I asked him again, are you okay? And he turned around and his tears were streaming down his face. There was froth coming out of his mouth. He said, this can't fucking happen. I said, what do you mean? This can't happen. And he started screaming at me. And I'm terrified now because I'm thinking, this guy will take my head off. But he's screaming so loud that the entire dressing room hears him. And the silence. And they stop talking about the analysis and the data. And he knows now they're listening, so he walks straight up into the centre and he looks at them. And he looks at the guy in the hamstring and the guys in the bed and the guys, and he looks around and he says, this can't happen. And the captain said, what the hell are you talking about? He said, my dad is in a hospice. I spent the entire day with him yesterday. This is the last game of rugby I will ever play while he's alive. And I promised him that we would bring that cup into him. I promised him that we would have that cup and I would bring it into him tonight. And you're cheating me out of that because you're missing tackles. Because you've moved on next season. Because you think you're too young and you're waiting for next year. And while you all have your own excuses, you're robbing me out of that moment. And I never get that moment with my dad. And I never forgive any one of you. And you can see, I'm still emotion. Suddenly the guy with the incredibly sore hamstring dropped the ice and stood up. The guy stepped off the physio bed. There was silence in the dressing room. And the captain walked up and hugged him and kissed him. And he turned to the team and said, we'll win that fucking cup. And if we don't come back to this dressing room. And they just walked out the door. And the stats man said, gee, Gerry, will I bring them back in? We need to go through numbers, more data. I said, don't worry about that. The game ended. The referees was blowing the whistle for about 15 times trying to tell our players that the game was over. Eventually the opposition player got the ball and he kicked it over the sideline and he said to our players, for God's sake, will you stop before you kill somebody? We overcame a 6-point deficit and we won by 12 or 14 points. Now what changed? The team was physically the same. We still had the same talent. Aerobically, anaerobically, metabolically, we were still the same team with the same, but everything changed. What changed? What changed? The why changed. When you have a why, you will find a how. But sometimes we start on the how. How do I get fitter? Well, why do you want to get fitter? Why would you give up smoking? Why would you leave that job? Because my time is too short and my goals are too big and I can't live them here. Why are you alive? What is it going to define you? What's the why that's going to get you out of bed? I can't give you that. Nobody can give you that. Fight. And sometimes I have had to fight anger and self-judgment and fear and depression and everything. But if I can remember why I'm fighting, I fight it. When we lose sight of why. Sometimes I come into corporates and I stand up and the first question I ask is this the dream? Is this the job you dreamed about doing when you were 5 years old? What do you think most of the answers are? Second question is, why are you doing it? You know you have 900 months and you sleep 300, which leaves you 600. What are you giving your time to? So the first door is the idea of 900 months and how we use our time. The second door is the power of choice. We have the power to choose our response to any situation. The third door is why. Find your why. Why would I change? The next door is fitness. In order for me to fight every day, I have to be fit. But not just physically fit. I have to train my brain. We know through neuroplasticity that your brain is an incredible thing. It can learn new ideas, new ways of thinking. So the first thing I need to feed it is positive self-talk. And yet most people come into work. So I call this personal hygiene. You know, you wake up in the morning, most days we shower, we brush our hair, put on a bit of makeup, because we don't want to stink the place out. But personal hygiene is, I come into work and say, how are you doing here? What time's that meeting on 10 o'clock? That's more shite again. We never get through anything there. And they sent me the agenda last night, so there's 50 things on. I have the hope of getting through that. And I come in there in the traffic, so the traffic's bananas. That M50 is the disaster. Whoever built that is absolutely useless. And how about this Brexit? That's a lot of shite too, yeah. How are you doing? You just come in and you've just thrown a bucket of shit all over somebody. And now you're asking them how they're doing. More importantly, your subconscious is listening and believing everything you say. The words you use are the seeds that grow your tomorrow. Every time you use a word, it fires a neurological circuit in your brain that is linked to an emotion. And yet we say things like, I have a massive meeting this evening. Why, how big is the room? I have a huge deadline. The traffic is my worst nightmare. Worst nightmare. Go and talk to a parent that's losing their 5-year-old kid to cancer. Tell them that traffic is your worst nightmare. And then people say, oh well, you know what I mean, Gerry. I don't know what you mean, because I trust what you said is what you believe. If you understood, if you knew the power of your words are constantly creating. One time ago, we used to downplay everything. Nice jacket. Oh yeah, Penny's alright. That was a great talk there. It was alright. No. I learned a long time ago, change your language. Simple things I used to do. People say, Gerry, you look fit. And Gary, I know Gary's still here. I robbed this from Gary Keegan. The ones I always said to Gary Keegan, how are you, Gary? I'm super, he used to say. What the fuck's up with that? Nice car, Gary. Yeah, I love it. You're looking in good shape, Gary. Yeah, I'm in great shape, Gary. I expected people to play down to my expectations. But Gary Keegan, who was the greatest leader I've ever worked under with Irish boxing, changed that. So now I started coming up. People say, you look very fit, Gerry. I would say, yeah, I'm super fit, thank you. And then people say, oh, fucking asshole. That's a nice car you have, Gerry. Yeah, I love it. Fucking asshole. Judgment. We judge people because they're not playing small. We judge them because they're not fitting into my expectations. That's waffle. Gerry talking about the unified field. What's all that crap? Well, that crap is quantum physics. And it's been around since as long as day. And if you get over your ego, you'll find it there. Look at that person wearing fake tan. They must be this, that and the other. Did you go and talk to them? No. Do you know their life story? No. So you don't know the life story, you don't know what they've overcome, you don't know their beliefs, you don't know how loving they are. You haven't asked their 5 greatest friends why they're so amazing. And you're willing to judge them because they're wearing fake tan or because the clothes they're wearing. That says everything about you and nothing about them. Amazing. I trained myself. I had to train myself. You look fit, Gerry. Yeah, I'm super fit. Now sometimes I might be super fit, so I'd say I'm super fit, I just need to brush the cobwebs off. Which means I need to get back in the gym. The most important thing I learned when someone gives you a compliment, and this was really hard for me, a kid that was born in the west of Ireland in a rural town, taught play down, don't stick your head up, for God's sake don't get too far ahead of yourself, downplay everything. Now when someone gives me a compliment, I train myself to say, guess what I say when someone gives me a compliment? Thank you. And just sit there. And the person that meant it would say, yeah, great, move on. And the person that didn't mean it would look at you and say, oh, fuck. Weed them out of your life. As I tell us. So you give me a compliment, I accept it. It makes you uncomfortable. Now you got to deal with that. Sometimes in company we know we're making the other person uncomfortable and they start panicking. If they're uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable. I ask people uncomfortable questions all the time and say, Gerry, that's difficult, that's a really difficult question. That's an uncomfortable question. I'll say the question isn't making you uncomfortable, the answer is. And that's nothing to do with me. It is amazing when we start to use different words. Instead of saying I'm not fit, I'm getting fitter. My life is changing for the better. Someone gives you a compliment, thank you. You look really good, thank you. You look super fit, I'm super fit. Life is great. What's going on next week? I don't know, but I'm here now. If you'd like to talk to me, I'm here right now in front of you. That's the next goal. The next goal I want to talk you through is the ego, and the ego is a dangerous thing, and I talked yesterday a lot about the ego, so I'm only going to speed this up. The ego is this little piece of humanity. So I want you to think of the jigsaw. We all are a big jigsaw. So we're all connected, we're all here in the tent, and the conversation will go as well as everybody in this tent. So everything only works because of the collective. We can only breathe because of those trees. Already this morning you woke up. Hands up here, who woke up in a bed that you didn't manufacture? Hands up who slept on a pillow that you did not manufacture. Hands up who turned on a shower in a shower that you did not plumb. Hands up who used shower gel or shampoo that you did not make. Hands up who switched on electricity in a house that you did not wire. Hands up who switched on a kettle that you did not make a kettle. Hands up who ate something today that you didn't make yourself. And then we say he's a self-made man. How do you mean he's self-made? Well, he created this great idea. He invented the iPhone they sold. So he invented the iPhone, yeah. But did he actually go in and build the iPhones? Oh no, people building them. Brilliant. And did he sell the iPhones? No, they sold in shops. So who opened the shop? Or some other guy had to take a bank loan, take a chance and build a shop and employ staff. There's no such thing as a self-made person. We are all part of the big jigsaw. We rely on each other, we rely on the universe to guide us. What happens sometimes is the ego, one piece jumps out and the ego tries to make one piece make sense. Who am I? Am I the right shape? Am I the right size? Well, it's all about me. Forget about the other piece. It's about me, my life, my purpose. It's not about you and your life. It's about, can you just be part of the bigger jigsaw? And if you took one piece of any jigsaw and examined it by itself, does it make any sense? No. Is it either the right shape or the wrong shape? You're only the right shape or the wrong shape depending on what's going on around you. So what's going on around you? So sometimes we need to just surrender my ideas, my goals. We need to come out of that and just say I am part of something bigger. And at times I won't fully understand what's going on in my life, but that's okay. At times the things that are happening in my life are not what I expected. But here's the thing, there is no right or wrong. What happens is you are an infinite being with infinite potential. And of all the multi-million things that could possibly happen in your life, we get fixated on one thing. And that one little thing, and then anything other than that one thing is wrong. That's wrong. Or she's wrong. That's wrong. I didn't want that. And we resist because it didn't fit our little plan. But sometimes the universe has a bigger plan. And the way I equate this is, I go into school sometimes and I do a talk on ego and non-resistance to 10, 12-year-old kids. So I give them €1 and I say, now that €1 is going to buy you lunch. If you let that euro go, you don't have the euro anymore. So squeeze it. And then I say, I'm going to use the power of the mind to open it. So I say, can I have the euro? No. I need that euro. No. So they start to tighten it. And they say, give me the euro. No, no, this is my euro. It's in my hand and I'm having it. But I said, just give me the euro. Just open your hand and let me take the euro. No. And then I said, what would happen if you opened your hand? You take the euro, and I'd say you're right. And what would happen then? I'd have no money. How do you know? Because that's what I've decided. But what if you were to open your hand and I was to take your euro and give you something else? So the kid says, oh, that might work. And what if you didn't actually have any money? And you got really hungry later, could you go to your friend and borrow a sandwich? Well, I probably could actually. And even if there was no friend, you're going to be home at 4 o'clock, 3 hours away. Could you live till 4 o'clock? Yes. So no matter what happens, you're going to have food. So you don't really need that euro, do you? Well, I suppose when you look at the bigger picture, no. Are you ready to take a gamble? So they open up their hand. And I take the euro. And I put a tenner back in. Sometimes in life we're going around with that one little thing. That has to be. I don't want that. That's wrong. That doesn't suit me. It doesn't suit my plan. We're going around and our life becomes this condensed microcosm of my beliefs. And everything else is wrong. There is no wrong. There is only other things. Things that exist outside of your own beliefs. And things will happen that are so far outside your belief and so far outside of what you wanted. But when it does, now it comes back to your decision. And sometimes in order to get more, you need to let go. Old stories, old beliefs. The next door I'm going to take you through is letting go. Because letting go isn't that easy. Because whether you're 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, you've 30 years of holding on to something. There's an amazing fact that happens when people fall into the sea and they fall off a ship and the ship sinks and they're desperately panicking and trying. The next thing a log comes along or a plank of timber and they jump onto it and they're hanging. And they say, oh shit, this might keep me safe. And then they realise, it is keeping me safe. And I'm not dying. And the more I hang on to this, is the more it keeps me safe. And then they start praying for the helicopter to come. And for 36 hours they're hanging on to this log for dear life, praying for the helicopter to come. And after 36 hours, the helicopter comes. And the winch man comes down. And he's all the gear, he's all the equipment, he's going to take them to safety. He's going to take them into the chopper and back to a 5-star hotel. And he comes down and he's hanging 10 metres above them. And they start to look up and they're hanging onto the log. And then he comes down to 5 metres. And he says, I need you to let go of the log. What do most people say? I can't. Winchmen have to be specifically trained in how to psychologically get people to let go of the log. I can't. And the reason they can't is because I've been holding on to this for so long and it's kept me safe. It has become my identity. We've all had trauma in our life. That trauma could be something big that happened. The single biggest trauma a human being can experience is the feeling of being unloved or unlovable. Maybe it was a relationship you had with your dad or with your mum. Maybe it was something that a parent or a teacher said. Maybe it was an experience that you had that made you feel not enough, made you feel anxious, made you feel scared, and you've held on to that emotion. That's me. You don't get me, Gerry. You don't know my past. I know I don't. But your past is killing you. And and the anger and the fear and the guilt and the shame and the regret that you are feeling because of your past and dragging into your present is killing you. And I might know your past, but I know your future, and I'm looking into your eyes and I see you're holding on to a log. It is amazing the things that happen to us, we hold on to them because they become part of our identity. That's my past, that's my history. I can't go to the gym, I hurt my leg. But people who have no legs go to the gym. I was cheated on, my husband cheated on me. You don't understand. I do, but he's still controlling you. I lost my mum 2 years ago and I can't get over it. But she would want you to get over it. Every one of us, including myself, hold on to logs at times that no longer serve us. At best, they're just barely keeping us alive. But we have built our whole identity around us, and we have an emotion attached to that of fear, anxiety, and that becomes familiar. The ego doesn't want you to change because it's afraid of if you change, you might leave it behind. It tries to capture you and imprison you with the same thoughts and the same emotions. And in psychology we call that the frozen present. I deal with clients who are still emotionally going through in a response to something that happened 10 years ago. They haven't moved or changed. And they come to me for help. I want you to move on, Gerry. And when I say I need you to let go, what do they say? I can't, because it's me. Because the ego doesn't want you to let go. In order to create a new you, there are stuff you're going to have to let go. That feeling of not being good enough, that when you were bullied, that first time you noticed you were different, that marriage breakdown you went through, that cancer diagnosis, whatever it was that resonated, that huge emotion, is that emotion still is playing out in your life? And what would it take for you to let that go? And the final door is a very simple door. And you know what it is. And you know what the last door is. Huh? Self-acceptance. You nailed it. I started by saying if you want to be happy, you've got to take self-judgment out. Stop judging yourself. Stop saying I'm not where I'm meant to be. Who said you're meant to be there anyway? Never let a good destination take you away from a great detour. I promise you, you are exactly where you're meant to be. And the first step to change is acceptance. Enlightenment is nothing more than the non-resistance of what is. I'm scared, but that's okay. I'm angry, but that's okay. Stop resisting the emotion, because that then fuels further resentment and further anger. I wish I wasn't depressed. People who suffer massive from anxiety and depression tell me that the hardest part isn't the depression. The hardest part is the guilt they feel. And they say, but Gerry, I've nothing to be depressed about. Why is that even relevant? I've nothing to be sad about, Gerry. I should be happy. There is no should. We live in a world where we're constantly striving to become. But the striving to become means that I can't tolerate what I am. And even this striving to become happy. The only way we can be happy is if we learn a skill. And the skill is that we learn to extract the most amount of joy from any given minute as it's unfolding. Whether it's what I wanted in life or not. Whether it's what I would have predicted or not. Whether it's what I would have asked for or not. If it's happening, then it's there. And the first thing I have to do is accept it. Stop resisting it. Stop fighting it. Stop fighting my past. Stop fighting my future. Stop judging where I am. And replace it with compassion. Isn't it incredible that we're here in a tent? with all types of things happening around us. How in the name of God, in all the things that have happened in your life, and all the things that have happened in my life, how are we sitting 6 inches away from each other in a tent in Dublin? I don't know. But now that we are, we can talk about your past and my past and everything that separates us, or we can talk about everything that makes us the same. We're both here. And isn't this incredible? If you can see the opportunities and the moments that exist, moment by moment by moment, stop running and forcing and chasing something that doesn't exist. Happiness is not out there and it's not ahead of you. Your past is nothing more than fiction, created in your own mind to suit your egos. Your ego has a need to feel shame, guilt, angry. We become addicted to that emotion, and then we search the world and we find situations and people who allow us to feel that emotion. So we will break the addiction. We become free. The next time you're stuck in traffic, remember, you are not in the traffic, you are the traffic. And you cannot change it. So be in it and enjoy it. I was the world and Olympic champion of road rage. When I was at a red light and it went green, if Michael Schumacher wasn't in front of me and took off, like, gobshite, what the hell's wrong with him? Why is everybody moving too slow? If the whole world is moving too slow, maybe you're moving too fast. So now I developed a simple technique. When I'm at a traffic light, or when I'm stuck in traffic, I ask myself, if I was an 8-year-old kid, what would I be looking at and what would I find fun in? And I look out, next thing I see a dog having a piss. That's too amazing. I see some fellow washing the window and I'm looking at him. I look around and I look into a window and see the most amazingly beautiful looking woman inside. I said, God, she's incredible. Next thing I realised, the lights have gone green and I'm the asshole that's not moving. Because I realised the asshole who didn't move was the guy that was looking around him enjoying everything. And I was tunnel vision. I was the asshole because I'd missed everything. I do a trick with clients. When a new client signs up, I get them to meet me at the bottom of Grafton Street. And as we're walking up, they think I'm coming to my office. And I also bring another client who's walked with me for quite a while. I hadn't been up Grafton Street that day before, so I don't know what we're going to see. But as we're going up, we're talking about the football, we're talking about everything. And as we get to the thing, we sit down in my office and I say to the client, what did you see walking up there? Oh, well, we passed Brown Thomas, I think. And there was a guy's busking, I think. He said, how's that? And I said, like, what did you see? He said, when we passed Brown Thomas, there was a beautifully attractive girl inside the window. And she was with another guy that looked like a male model. And I was thinking, how are they so beautiful? But the most amazing thing is, the male model had only one leg. That was incredible. And then we went up and the guys were busking. And they were all playing wind instruments. But there was a fiddle there. And I remember thinking, I've never seen a fiddle in a wind band before. That was incredible. And he names about 100 things that he saw while he was walking up Grafton Street. And I said to the other guy, did you see any of those things? No. So then I asked, what else in your life are you missing right now? We are surrounded with infinite opportunities and infinite possibilities all the time. But sometimes our ego is so focused on dragging us into the past or the future, we see nothing. When you become present, when you slow down, Lewis Hamilton, as he's driving the car at 225 miles an hour, watching the track, watching the competitors, 5 technicians feeding him information all the time, he's feeding that back. And when he's in that stressful, chaotic state, his heart rate is going up or down? Down. As he goes in, his one mantra that runs through his mind, as he goes into every bend, he's saying, find the space. If you approached every day with an attitude of find the space today, slow time down, find an opportunity to laugh, find somebody with a beautiful thank you, as much as I possibly can, try and make as many people as I can smile today. Be present to people, don't judge anybody, do not talk negative about people. And when someone gives me a compliment, say thank you. If you could take those simple strategies, what type of day would we think we'd have? It'd be different, wouldn't it? So in all the talk about mindfulness, and mindfulness is important, I think we should become mindless a little bit. I think we spend far too much bloody time up in our heads in our own thoughts, in our own past, and in our own fictional future that doesn't actually exist. So to recap, your life is 900 months. You sleep 300. Do the maths. Most people in this tent have somewhere between 3 and 350 months left. What would you like to do with it? If you feel time is flying, it's because your mind is flying. Stop, breathe, slow it down, become present. You have a choice. The last and most powerful of all human dignities is your ability to choose your response at any given minute. Never surrender that. It is not what happens to you that defines you, it is your response that defines you. Be defined by the right things. 4, know your why. Why would I do anything? Before you commit to a new task, a new project, before you commit to leaving a job or staying in a job, ask yourself why. What does it bring into my life? Does it set my soul on fire? Does it create a new me? Am I surrounded by great people who believe in me? Am I surrounded by people who believe in what I believe in? What's my why? Control your words. Words are the seeds that grow your tomorrow. Every single word you use is believed by your subconscious mind. Every word you use has a neurocircuitry attached to it that stimulates the part of the brain that creates the picture, and then you have an emotion. And we get trapped in stuff that doesn't actually exist outside our own head. Most of our fears and emotions belong to the future or the past, which is fiction. Deconstruct your own fiction. Become present. Practice compassion and acceptance. The non-resistance of what is. There is pain in life, and pain will come to us all at different stages in different ways. Pain happens, but suffering is optional. Suffering is the resistance of what is. I don't want that. That's not the way I wanted it. We suffer sometimes because of a reaction to what is happening. And finally, if you want to be happy, if you really want to be happy, what do you have to do? Stop judging yourself. The Fitbit that tells you haven't walked enough, you haven't slept enough, you need to do more, take the Fitbit off and smash it. I will decide if I've walked enough. We surround ourselves with social media and gadgetry to pick holes in our life, to find a problem so that it can sell us the solution to fix that problem. I was listening to the interview between Adam, from U2, what's his name? Adam Clayton and Tommy Tiernan. And Tommy asked him a great question. He said, what makes great music? He said, music is part physical, it's part spiritual, it's part emotional, it's part psychological, it's part intellectual, it's a part of everything. So they named a couple of the greatest U2 songs. And Adam said the most amazing thing about those songs is if you've got a music scientist or a musicologist to look at the notes, the formation of the notes, the timing, the sequencing, the processing, what would they tell you about those songs? They'll tell you those songs don't work. And yet we surround ourselves with gadgets that tell you you're not happy. You didn't sleep enough. You ate too much. You didn't eat enough. You should try a different diet. Because we are addicted to judgment. In the hope that if we judge ourselves enough and make enough changes, that happiness is out there somewhere. Happiness is nothing more than the ability to extract the most amount of joy in what's happening right now. I started the conversation by playing a song. I'm going to play the song to finish, but I'm going to ask you to do something. As the song is playing, I want you to fight the ego. And for a few moments as the song plays, I want you to repeat yourself, I am enough. I am enough. I believe in me. And then when I say stand up, everybody's going to stand up. And you're going to find 1, 2, 10, 5, 100 people, and you're going to hug them and you're going to say, I believe in you. Why are we all here? Why am I here? Because I would love if someone let me feel that I am enough. When we hug, when we hold, when we feel enough, our system is flooded in oxytocin. So we're going to listen to the song. The first minute you're going to repeat to yourself, I am enough. I believe. And then you're going to stand up, you're going to find someone. It could be a friend, a colleague, or it might be someone you've never met before. And you're going to say, I don't care about your past. I don't care about your future. I don't care about your shame. I don't care about your guilt. I'm looking into two incredibly beautiful eyes. I see a human spirit, and I'm willing to believe in you. Are you willing to believe in you? We're going to find as many people as we can, and we're going to hug them, and we're going to say simply, I believe in you. Okay. Is that okay? So we're going to start the song first, and then when I close your eyes, and then when I say stand up, you're going to extend what you've developed in yourself to somebody else.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure.
It is a lie that you are not enough. A lie. Because you are enough.
And I'm more than just the sum of every high and every low.
Yes, you are. Because you are bigger than you could ever imagine. You are part of the unified field.
Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know.
You are an infinite human spirit.
You say I'm in love when I can't feel a thing.
You are capable of
You say I'm
everything you've ever dreamed of.
when I think I'm weak. You say
Breathe in.
I'm held
Breathe in new.
when I'm
Breathe in possible.
and when
Breathe out old.
don't belong. Oh, you say I'm yours.
Each breath we get bigger, we get stronger.
And I believe
We get out of our past and into our present.
what you say to me. I believe
Now we stand up.
the only thing that
And first, stand up for yourself. Let your hands out into the unified field. Stretch, reach out, reach those hands out bigger, into something bigger, and grab it.
in you I
That's where you exist, in the universe, not in your head.
find my identity.
You exist in the universe, not in your past, not in your future. Stretch, close your eyes, stretch, stretch. One more inch, feel that power surging from the ground into your feet, into your chest, out into your hands. You are energy, infinite energy. Step out of your past and into your present. Right here, right now, you are infinite. Stretch out and feel it. I am enough. I have always been enough. And I will always be enough.
Taking all I have and now
Breathe.
I'm laying it at your
Now you're going to open your eyes, you're going to find as many people as you can, you're going to hug them, and you're going to say, I believe in you. Let's go.
feet.